All praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, and Shalom to the Bakiyar. I want to briefly expound on my last lesson going in on principalities and how spirits influence people to put hell on the men of the Lord. All right. With this example of the movie Fallen, which shows a great analogy of this concept. All right. We gave one of the examples in Matrix that Agent Smith can occupy any of the people who are plugged into the Matrix. All right. The ones that are not unplugged, right? Likened to these people who are pretty much metaphorically belong to Satan. All right. The ones that are wicked. All right. That they don't, that they're not of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay. And how that's an analogy of spirits, left-handed spirits, hopping on those individuals to hell, to put hell on his men. Okay, Salakia. So this shows it as well. A great example of how these different individuals are susceptible to the spiritual demon Satan. And even the men of the Lord, man. Even the men of the Lord, as we'll get an example in the scriptures, are subject into left-handed spirits, man. Demons can hop on brothers, okay? But it's ultimately it's not to overtake them and destroy them, right? If they be of the elect, okay? So this shows how the spirits, they hop on different fucking people, man. All right. And this is also why it would behoove you not to resist. Okay. Well, it tells you anyway who had resist the Most High's will. It's impossible, but that's why, like it says in the Apocrypha in Sirach second chapter, to not make haste. All right. To pretty much be patient when you're changed into a lower state. All right. And pretty much just fucking just eat it. Okay. Take it on the chin. Like it says to let's see. It says in Sirach 2 in the first verse, my son, if thou come to serve Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, prepare thy soul for temptation, set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. And here's the point. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. All right. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall. Ye that fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. Ye that fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy. Okay. So to know, just as we went into yesterday, that the meek goes into accepting the Most High's dealings with us as good, all right, whether they could be perceived as bad, okay. It's all good because it said he's inflicting these evils upon us to purify his elect. All right. And we'll just get that too again for edification's sake in Matthew 5:5. Praus, meekness towards the Most High is that disposition of spirit in which we accept his dealings with us as good and therefore without disputing or resisting. All right, and that's that being patient. Because what does patient mean? Patience means to not only to endure adversity, it means to be willing. All right, it means to be willing. If you can wrap your mind around the essence of what that means, all right, that means you're inviting it, uh, uh, so to speak. Okay, that's the that is literally the opposite of resisting and disputing. Okay, right there in the Apocrypha, in the second chapter of Sirach. It says, in the Old Testament, the meek are those who wholly rely on the Most High rather than their own strength to defend against injustice. Thus, meekness towards evil people means knowing the Most High is permitting the injuries they inflict, that he is using them to purify his elect, and that he will deliver his elect in his time. Okay? And then it says it's the opposite of self-assertiveness. All right? So we're not to, that is heavy edification for us not to fucking make a move, like it says, to be hasty. All right? And which is an assertion, to be fucking assertive, which they teach you in this world. All right? But like as aforementioned again, this thing, afflictions and sufferings keep you pure. Okay, we're gonna go back now, back into here. Let me show you an example of even how a man of the Lord it can be subject to a left side spirit. Okay, but it's not for his overthrow, as we have an example here of Peter. Okay, but indeed, primarily these wicked motherfuckers out here, man, the one that are not seeking Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that give into their carnal lusts. All right, because that's one of the main things in the society is just being a brute fucking beast, doing what feels good all the goddamn time. And there's no more of a more disgusting expression of that do as thou wilt shit than we have in this society in current day, 2023. That's why you would have the proliferation of this um, alphabet agenda. That's why you would have the proliferation of deviation. All right. So um, so basically, it as aforementioned, it wouldn't be opportune. It's not an opportune thing. It's not an opportune act to attempt to fight against these spirits, man, against these people. All right, because just like it said, we just went into all that about resisting, disputing, right, making haste, and all that shit. Now you're gonna fucking you're really giving into that temptation when you do any of that shit, right? But um, when you understand that this entity is afflicting me by whose influence, right? By the influence of a principality, man. And like I said, spiritual wickedness in high places. Is that what that said? Slovakia. In Ephesians 6, in the KJ, it says, Ephesians 6 and 12, yeah, against spiritual wickedness in high places, right? Rulers of darkness of this world. So it's not opportune to attempt to fight against that. When you understand whatever, when you're getting afflicted and whatever motherfucker the Most High is using to put hell on you, all right, it's not opportune for you to fight against that because he could simply, if you think you're gonna fight back or attempt to try to neutralize this fucking demon or this person that has this demon that's powering them up. First of all, you don't have the power to fight against that shit. All right. And then second of all, um, it's pretty much like it says, least happily you find yourself to be fighting against the Most High. All right, because He's the one who put the spirit on, who manipulated that left hand spirit to hop on whatever individual to fuck with you. Okay, and that was depicted in that in Fallen. All right, you could even kill the motherfucker. Like going into that's the ultimate form of neutralizing a person. You could subdue them. That's a form, right? Fucking an arrest. See these terms that these fly by day terms that people use, but don't understand the real applications, right? To subdue or arrest a motherfucker. It's different forms of neutralization, but the ultimate would be, in some instances, to kill a motherfucker. All right, and that's what he was doing in the movie to certain people who had that demon on them, because a lot of times, what are they? They were spirits created for vengeance, right? But then he put them to death. But that spirit could just hop on someone else, so it wouldn't. It behoove of you not to attempt to fight against ultimately these spirits, which is ultimately the Most High. All right, Matthew 16:23. But he turned and said to Peter, "Get thee behind me, Satan! Thou art an offense unto me, for thou savorest not things that be of the Most High, but those that be of men." All right. So even the rock of the church, the rock of uh, um, you know, of Israel, you see, it was subject to that. And then finishing it off in James 2 and 19. When understanding, man, like we read yesterday, the Father of spirits, should we be more subject to the Father of spirits and live? And it's so heavy about that is it literally means he's the governor and the he ordains the steps of all creation, of all spirits. He's the Father. He's the governor of spirits. Okay, meaning he's the one that influences and controls all creation. So why not, like it says, be subject unto this power, man? All right. James 2:19. Thou believest that there is one power. Thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble. All right. So they're in complete subjection uh, to, and it, like it said when we read in Sirach 39:28 through 30, or maybe 29th verse it stops, that they rejoice. Well, I believe it is the 30th. They verse. They rejoice at the commandment, man. All right. That's what they were created for. They're not they're just as we are vessels, pots of the potter, of the vessels of the potter, just as we are, so are those entities, man. Those principalities, man. And that was expressed perfectly in Job as well, you see. So with that, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash.